Global happenings today. We communicate. We analyze global news. Stay tuned.
Hello beautiful people, welcome back to our channel. Moyele Sowore is back, and this time around he is going for, as usual, going for a cause that has gathered the Ndibos together. He has touched so many persons. He has literally called out so many persons to join him in this protest of freeing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu now. And if you are conversant with Nigerian history, you discover that 20th of October is a very unique day, a unique date in Nigerian history. NSAS took place somewhere in Lekki Tollgate, and this time around, Sowore is calling for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu on that same day that they should be marching down to Aso Rock. Most prominent men have, prominent politicians have indicated interest, Atiku Abubakar have, but shockingly enough, people are now flying to Nigeria to join this planned protest, Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And the southeastern women, that's Igbo women, have backed Sowore on this pro-Kanu protest. But he had said to give us full details on what is going on. But meanwhile, he did mention the fact that the likes of Mariam Sanda, a woman convicted in 2020 for murder of her husband, is being set free, while Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who have not been convicted for anything, is still very much in detention. But let's give you a quick update on what is going on, the latest one on ground right now. Well, according to Sowore, he said, let it be known that while preparations are in top gear for the Free Nnamdi Kanu now march to Aso Rock Villa on October 20th, I have continued to engage key Nigerian official leaders in pursuance of justice and dialogue. Now, earlier this week, I reached out separately to the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Dr. Tajuddin Abbas, and his deputy, Ben Kallo. My goal was simply to seek the Speaker's consent to convene an urgent plenary session for the House of Representatives to issue a formal resolution calling on President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu immediately. The Speaker stated that because the matter is still in court, he would not officially table it before the House. However, he assured me that he would meet privately with some members, especially Obi Agwacha, who represent Nnamdi Kanu's constituency, to explore a political resolution. He also mentioned that he had previously made underground interventions with the DSS on the matter. On his part, Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, despite having confirmed ongoing conversations are being held with President Tinubu regarding Kanu's release, although acknowledged that the judicial process has been frustratingly slow, I took this to mean that a majority of them are using the court trial as an alibi. I have also reached out once again to members of the Abia State House of Assembly to inquire whether they will join the October 20th protest once they return from their current trip to London. They are yet to respond, despite having made an open declaration to protest in Abuja over the matter. Meanwhile, I must restate that the October 20th date is sacrosanct. We will march powerfully, we will march resolute, we will march lawfully to demand justice and freedom for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We have learned that President Tinubu is traveling out of Nigeria to Rome, and while we do not know if this is a move to avoid the protest, we remain hopeful that he will be back in the country by then to witness the will of the people in full measure. A lot of reactions have gone on, I must say, but now even the youth, southeastern youth, are also backing this Free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu protest. Quite a lot of things are going on almost immediately. And now what Sowore is literally telling everyone who cares to listen to him, and it's also telling Mr. President directly that let's be absolutely very clear that we are not asking for pardon or clemency or amnesty for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. What we demand is justice, an end to the illegal, unjust, unfair, discriminatory, and inhumane and degrading treatment he has endured for the last 10 years. My goodness, quite a long time, How time flies, looks as if nothing is happening, but everything is going on. I'm going to also allow you watch a video clip where he granted an interview of what is going on, and the fact that if everybody keeps quiet, this will keep going on and on. And Mazi Nnamdi Kanu may be in detention till God knows how long. But let's quickly find out what the Southeast youth are saying. That the coalition of Southeast youth leaders, a socio-political youth organization in the Southeast geopolitical zone, has expressed support for the immediate release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. Now, the group said it was ready to demonstrate peacefully as a solidarity for the release of the embattled IPOB leader. Sowore had urged Southeast governors, lawmakers, traditional rulers, and religious leaders to join the planned demonstration for Kanu's release. He disclosed that he had contacted several prominent Igbo leaders, including Anambra State Governor Professor Chukwuma Soludo, Abia State Governor Dr. Alex Oti, Senator Enyinnaya Abaribe, and Labour Party 2023 presidential candidate Peter Obi to join the movement. The activist also revealed that he reached out to Atiku through his team, noting that the former vice president's support would give significant weight to the campaign. Reacting to the matter in an exclusive statement, the organization president general, that's Goodluck Ibem, said that it had announced its commitment to organizing a peaceful protest to demand Kanu's release from detention or from the Department of State Services detention, well, that's DSS. He alleged that it was clear that there was a double standard in the approach of the federal government towards issues of national security and human rights. He added that while the country witnessed negotiation with non-kingpins from the North terrorist group, individuals responsible for the loss of countless lives, and the ruination of the numerous communities, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu remained in detention. Ibem noted that this inequality raises serious questions about the motives behind the continued detention, particularly in light of his deteriorating health condition. We believe that the continued incarceration of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not solely a matter of legal proceedings. It is emblematic of the broader systemic injustice faced by the Southeasterners. His imprisonment undermines our collective effort towards peace, unity, and dialogue in addressing regional and national issues. As youth leaders from the Southeast, we are committed to advocating for justice, equity, and equality. We call upon our members, allies, and the general public to join us in this peaceful protest march as we seek to amplify our voices for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Our protest will demonstrate our unwavering demand for his release. We urge all concerned citizens who believe in justice, who believe in equity, and the fundamental rights of all individuals to join us in this noble cause. Of course, these were the words of the Southeast youth leaders. Let's quickly listen to Sowore on what is going on. We'll be back for more.
That's part of why we are discussing this river state. It's like there's absence of common sense on the corridors of power. I think because there are just too many sycophants in Nigeria. The Kanu situation didn't need to last one day longer than the day Buhari left. Kanu was Buhari's personal prisoner because those people, the Buharis of this world, believe that Nigeria is a real estate that must be held together, it must be united. But you would think that people who claim they have broad minds about what Nigeria is, the diversity of Nigeria, the crisis. Is the first person they would have done, the first person they would have let go is Nnamdi Kanu. Because didn't we let go Sunday Igboho? Have we burned down Yoruba land? Before Buhari left, I was one of the people fighting for Ezaki. The arguments by those who were opposed to his release was that if he come, he will burn down Kaduna. Ezaki has been out of jail now for how long? He doesn't even have time for Nigeria. He has become an international ambassador for Nigeria. He goes to Lebanon, Iran. I've seen him in Iraq. He has not had time to even rebuild his area base. That shows to you that what of some of the fear mongering that happens on the corridors of power is driven by unreasonableness, and that is why I just want to say, look, eventually, they are going to resolve the issue politically. Because the political issue is a self-determination matter. There's no court of law that can resolve Kanu's matter. Even if he's found guilty by their own standards, it's still going to be he's a political prisoner forever.
Some people have.
I think 2023. I was part of some conversation to release him. And what came straight was from Imo State, that he can't be released before the election in Imo State, that he will affect them. And after that, everybody kept coming and said, don't release him, and here we are.